The time is 12:45 midnight. Hi everybody, happy Tuesday and welcome back to my channel. Yesterday I saw an article actually about General MKHWANAZI. This is what the article says. The title says MKHWANAZI's claims of dust gathering docket are disputed. So yesterday Major General Mary MOTSEPE said these words and told Sunday World. She revealed that she authorized an internal police report for Deputy National Police Commissioner, which is Shadrack Sibia. That report addressed the statuses of the dockets, the case file held by the disbanded political unalivings task team. It concluded that, contrary to earlier claims that these dockets were not gathering dust but were actively being investigated, though with notable shortcomings that left victim families frustrated and delayed justice. The report also noted that the politically motivated unaliving task team had been disbanded on January 3, 2025 due to insufficient and lack of progress. The report identified 118 dockets in various stages under investigation, pending court decision or waiting further action, and confirmed active investigation.
This year, a total of 121 case dockets that were under investigation were taken away from the task team as directed by a Deputy National Commissioner Crime Detection, a Lieutenant General Sibia, who was acting on the instruction of the Minister of Police to disband the team. This was done without the authority of the National Commissioner, nor I, as a Provincial Commissioner, was never informed. These case dockets have since March been sitting at the head office ever since, without any investigation work done on them. 5 of these dockets had already instruction to arrest perpetrators, but nothing has been done because a Lieutenant General Sibia, being instructed by the minister, or well, executing instruction of the minister, withdrew all these dockets and they're sitting in archive in his office.
So I definitely think that after this, there's a lot of questions that we all have. Number one, why is it now complicated? Number two, these political task teams are formed by Lieutenant General MKHWANAZI. Why is it that he was not informed of their disbandment and all this information that is being revealed in this report? Thirdly is so are they saying that the arrests that have happened, does that mean that the arrests were unlawfully conducted or they unlawfully happened? In this video, I wanted us to unpack all these questions that probably some of you have, and even more, but I just wanted us, for purposes of this video, to address those 3 questions. Number one, why is it that Lieutenant General MKHWANAZI has not been informed? I think we need to understand that, first of all, the hierarchy in terms of the subs. Even though General MKHWANAZI is the one that formed the task team, but still, if a report had to be conducted, it will first start with the Deputy National Commissioner, then go to the National Commissioner. That's just how things are done. I think that is standard procedure anywhere you can go. But definitely one can ask, it could have been, or one could argue that it could have been given to him because that task team was formed by him. He is an interested party that was supposed to be informed. Secondly, guys, we need to note that the relationship between Bheki, because at the time when the task team was formed, Bheki was the Minister of Police. Minister of Police, their former Minister of Police, Bheki, as well as MKHWANAZI, it doesn't seem like they had a very good relationship. So that could have also been a factor. And I think in this whole thing, I see a situation whereby it seems like when the task team was investigating this political unaliving situations, the police was also actually investigating the task team, because remember, they are doing an investigation that touches a very sensitive topic, which is unalivings of politicians, people that are of high caliber. And I don't think that Bheki would have just allowed that to happen without him being involved somewhere, somehow. Or even Senzo Mchunu would have allowed that to happen without him being involved somewhere, somehow. And some of the findings, if they were touching on their cadres, obviously they would want to know beforehand. They would want to see if there's something that they can do. Hence, they had to investigate the task team and what is the task team finding before it was even revealed to them, before the report could even come to them to say that, okay, we have a warrant of arrest to go and arrest who is a politician. So in their own right, they were trying to protect their own friends to ensure that these arrests don't happen. That's how I assume, right, my reasoning, allegedly.
In the year 2024, a request was received from Gauteng Organized Crime Investigating Unit to assist with the investigation to dismantle the organized crime syndicate that was operating in Gauteng, that was controlled in Gauteng but operating in the rest of the country and in neighboring countries. I, as a Provincial Commissioner, took a decision to deploy 10 members from this political killings task team to go and support this organized crime unit in Gauteng. I can tell South Africans that this decision was a cause for the disbandment letter of this team, because they overstepped their mandate of only focusing in KZN. They went to support Gauteng organized crime unit with the dismantling of a criminal syndicate. And I can confirm before the South Africans today that the investigation which these members were involved with in Gauteng has unmasked the syndicate. And this syndicate involves, amongst others, politicians who are currently serving in Parliament. The law enforcement officers include the members of the South African Police Service, the Metro Police, and correctional services. They include prosecutors in Gauteng province, the judiciary, and all these are controlled by the drug cartel as well as business people in that province of Gauteng. This act, of course, undermines the criminal justice system in this country.
Secondly, guys, you must understand that it seems like this report came as a form of reaction instead of a proactive action. It came as a reaction to what MKHWANAZI said. And it definitely does look like a cover-up. It doesn't look good that all along you never said anything about you investigating and you drafting a report based on the disbandment of the task team. All of a sudden there's a report that you've been drafting for a while, and now you are even saying that no, we were actually continuing, but because of the effect that this thing had on families and the fact that there was no enough evidence, we had to close these cases. 113 dockets, you're telling me that you couldn't find anything. And that's the thing, how do you explain the cases that have already been prosecuted in court? Because there is cases that have been prosecuted that have been happening for a very long time, but also there's been recent cases that have been prosecuted, especially after the revelations that were revealed by General Lieutenant MKHWANAZI. And another thing, the National Police Commissioner Masemola as well as the Deputy National Commissioner Shadrack Sibia have been accused of playing politics in how task teams are run. By not sharing the report with MKHWANAZI, immediately they have allowed these claims to be publicly discredited, and or shielding the minister as well, both Bheki Cele as well as Senzo Mchunu. And I think that that is where my problem is, because you casting a seed of doubt that we were doing our own thing. It's just that you didn't know. It's like they're hitting us with that song of we were doing our thing. It's just that you didn't know. And they even allowed him to go to public and say something like that. And now they want to discredit him in public to say that in a way you are too forward. You could have waited for us. You could have asked us as to what are we doing, but you went ahead and you embarrassed yourselves, because now they're casting, as I even said this before in my other videos, you're casting a seed of doubt. And whenever we're dealing with criminal cases, you have to prove beyond reasonable doubt. And the moment you put a seed of doubt, just a little bit of doubt in the case, then you've just defeated the whole thing. The whole thing becomes futile, doesn't hold. So the plan here that we see, I don't know if the National Police Commissioner is also involved, but I wouldn't be shocked if he is. But it seems like the plan is to discredit MKHWANAZI as much as they can, to ensure that whatever that he says is already accompanied with doubt that we know what we're doing. We disbanded the team intentionally. Oh, so first I wanted us to ask ourselves, so which means the political task teams that have already happened, they were unlawful? And the answer is no, they were not unlawful, because the subs task team, once officially instituted by the provincial commissioner, which is MKHWANAZI, is a legal recognized policing unit. The investigation had the powers to make arrests provided they follow the Criminal Procedure Act. And the requirements of the Criminal Procedure Act is that you need to have a reasonable suspicion that warrants, where necessary, the evidence to support the charges. And there is no suggestion that the suspects were illegally detained, or that the court threw out those arrests on grounds of the task team being unlawful. Then why was the task team ineffective or lacking evidence? Because of the political and administrative contradiction, which is the lies. The National Police Commissioner, which is Masemula Sibia and MOTSEPE report, argues that the team was underperforming. It wasn't securing enough convictions, that's what they're saying, and the cases were dragging on. In other words, while arrest happened, many cases collapsed in court because of poor docket management, weak evidence collection, witness intimidation, a huge issue in political underlivings, delays from the NPA. So the lack of evidence remarks doesn't mean arrests were unlawful. It means that the evidentiary standard for successful prosecution wasn't met by the task team. So for the public, the arrest proved that the task team was working. For national management as well, the conviction or lack thereof became the measure, and they used that to justify shutting it down. This tension explains why MKHWANAZI said that the cases were being sabotaged, while Pretoria insisted that they're simply being realigned into other investigative structures.
I wonder whether is this what the unit IDEC was established for? The Minister of Police invited and facilitated the peace talk between myself, the Provincial Commissioner of KwaZulu-Natal, and the Deputy National Commissioner, Lieutenant Jairus Beer, in his office, in his house, State House, official residence in Pretoria. The purpose of the invitation was to try and create peace between myself and the Deputy National Commissioner. It was unprecedented. I've never seen in my life. The National Commissioner was present, but he just kept quiet because it was not his meeting. The Minister of Police felt that he must make me and Jairus Beer to find peace. Surely, there can never be peace between a criminal and the police officer.
So, in other words, this article seems like it proves that the arrest, there was nothing wrong with the arrest, but the problem was the legality and the effectiveness, and that they arrested suspects, but many cases stalled in prosecution. Used that as the official reason to shut the unit down. So some of these cases that we're talking about that stalled and stuff like that was the cases, I want to discuss 3 cases. The case of Musawenkosi, Makata Mchunu, Wandile Ngubeni, and Sindiso Magaqa. All ANC-linked cases were used to have been withdrawn by the task team. The Magaqa case in particular dragged on for years with delay, confessions, and prosecutorial interference. Only recently did the hitmen admit on court record that the accused against whom charges were withdrawn had ordered the unaliving. The other case is the one of Wandile Mkhize. So this case is a whistleblower detective who had provided evidence in the matter or in the unaliving of Wandile Mkhize, was arrested and held without bail for 5 years. That case revealed no evidence and no subsequent investigation. And then there's another one who was the 2 Mkomazi officers who arrested AK-47 armed hitmen were themselves maliciously charged and jailed. Their evidence to deny bail was later proven false. This suggests that there were several arrests that have been malicious or politically motivated, upheld by the weak evidence or systematic collusion with prosecutors. Hence, MKHWANAZI even said that these people had relations with prosecutors, with NPAs, and politicians. That's why it was hard for them to arrest these people. So this is like proving what MKHWANAZI was saying, especially these three cases, that even after the task team has worked hard, these people will still stand in the way and influence prosecutors and everybody else involved. So according to the former Minister of Police, which is Begicele, he came with a report where he said that the task team arrested 360 suspects, 65 were convicted, another 32 suspects were acquitted, while 82 had charges provisionally withdrawn and 17 unalived after being charged. Similarly, on another overview, it showed that 110 accused were convicted. Over 999 cases resulted in a total of 1,562 years in sentences, including 20 life sentences. However, of 379 arrests, many did not result in convictions. So this proves the point that the arrests were lawful, but they were ineffective in a way. Now I wanted us to look at the recent ones that happened after Lieutenant General MKHWANAZI made those allegations that he made that involved everybody. So on the 6th of August, 4 suspects that were sentenced to life imprisonment in the Oscar Hlongwane, who is the municipal manager, unaliving case by the Matateni High School. And this arrest traces back to the work of the task team. And also, there was also recently 2 suspects in the 2023 unaliving of a DA councillor, Uhlala Nyenza Dlovu, with a bail hearing pending. In the long-standing Sandiso Makaka case, which is 2017, former municipal manager Zweli Phansi Skosana was arrested again, now facing several charges. This comes after the hitman pleaded guilty in early 2025. Additionally, a major recent operation around late July 2025 led to the arrest of 2 people connected to the unaliving of Nokuthula Happiness Mashabane, a municipal official from Kwaduguza. These arrests were executed on 30 July with involvements from local detectives and private security. So from all of this, we can see that the task team, definitely there's times where it won, but there's also times whereby it didn't win, just like it could have happened to anybody. But I think that this report has proven to us that they got all the time that they need to go through all those dusty dockets and take out the evidence so that the dockets can seem as if they didn't have enough evidence. Families were distressed by the outcomes of the task team, the fact that they have to arrest unalivings that happened years ago. And I think that here there's a high chance that the evidence has been scrutinized, those dockets have been vandalized, evidence has been removed, and now they want to come and tell us after like a month. They want to come and tell us, more than a month now, we're about to go to 2 months. They want to come and tell us that no, there was not enough evidence. That is why it's not like the dockets were closed. They were there, they're still opened. They've done all that they wanted to do. I don't think that right now South Africans are going to believe whatever that they had to say regarding those dockets. Nonetheless, guys, please tell me what you think. Do you think that indeed while the task team was investigating the political unalivings, they were also investigating the task team, meaning that MKHWANAZI was working with the entire criminal system was working against him. They didn't want him. Now the question remains why they didn't want him. Why were they investigating his team while he's investigating people that are corrupt in the country? Was it because they knew what he was going to find, or there's something that we're not being told about Lieutenant? Maybe he's not all innocent, of which I don't think that is the case. I just think that these people, they knew that Lieutenant was going to expose them, so they had to ensure that they cover their tracks and they walk behind him to ensure that they cover all up anything that is going to come up. Now they're feeling like, okay, this is happening. What is the damage control? The damage control is to cast a seed of doubt and to make it seem like General doesn't even know what he's talking about. General was not even informed because of the hierarchy of the subs. They had to first inform the deputy as well as the national the police commissioners. I don't know what you guys think about all of this. It's too much. Every day there's something. This commissioner thoughts. I'll see you in my next upload. Bye.